Hello everyone. Welcome to your studio for 2021 semester 2. My name is Russell Kerr. I'm your studio lead this semester and also the program manager for the Bachelor of Communication Design. I'd like to first start by acknowledging the sovereignty of the Boyarung and Woiwurrung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nations, whose unceded lands we conduct our business on today. I would like to acknowledge their ancestors and elders past and present, and I further acknowledge the continuing sovereignty of all country and First Peoples of the unceded territories, waters and other lifeways across Australia, and pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging. As you're probably all aware by now, we are in lockdown in Melbourne. We should have been in our studio on Friday, this coming Friday. Unfortunately, we are all sort of stuck at home in our different places. It's unfortunate, but there's not a lot we can do in this current pandemic that we're living in. So I just wanted to welcome you all to the studio, and I really look forward to seeing you all as soon as we're allowed back into campus, which with any luck will be probably in week 2, maybe week 3. Who knows what the regulations and stuff will be, but I guess we just have to wait and see exactly where they land over the next little bit. So I just want to give you a bit of an overview of the studio. In this studio, we're going to use large-scale signage formats and projection as our primary canvas. You'll interrogate experimental approaches to graphic design with the aim of developing techniques and methods to manipulate typographic form and structure. This studio really investigates how two-dimensional structures can be transformed into three-dimensional space. And as a participant of this studio, you'll be able to create design solutions in a range of different mediums. It could be UX, it could be websites, it could be motion graphics, or all of those things combined. We'll also potentially do printed book formats, posters and packaging. So I'll lay out kind of this broad framework and stuff that we can work in, but then depending on your own expertise and area of interest, then you can, you can kind of push whatever the creative projects are, either into, say, a website format or UX, or you could do the same brief in more of a physical publication. So it's really up to you exactly where you'll go with the studio, and we'll kind of work through that over the first few weeks. So while there is structure and stuff to it, it's definitely open to where you want to go with your design work this semester. So through an experimental practice in the studio, you're going to explore traditional means of visual communication. We're going to use large-scale projection art, experimental graphic design, and these large format signage techniques, and you will present your work to an external audience through regular pop-up presentations and mini exhibitions in around the city campus. As a starting point, if we ever get back to Building 9 on level 3, we'll start to work with the glass wall that facilitates the break between the makerspace and the main student area on level 3. So we'll get to use the machines, the large format signage machine inside the makerspace, and then we can cut some vinyl out and stuff and start making this installation thing on the outside of that glass window, which we'll leave up for open day. So yeah, I think it should be fun. I've run this studio in a range of kind of formats previously. Normally I take students away to remote communities, so it's been Broken Hill, Mildura or Werribee, which is a little town just outside of Mildura in northeastern Victoria. And we'll stay there for a few days, engage with the local community, and then we'll project the stuff that you make with the young kids from the high schools in the area who participate in the workshops, either onto a wheat silo inside the main street of the Mildura's kind of creative precinct, or in Broken Hill we had access to these amazing old buildings that used to be the power generators. They're probably as big as Bowen Street, for instance. It would be a building that would fit Bowen Street in there. So think those, the Melbourne Metro tunnel buildings. It's kind of one of those on steroids. So it was a really interesting place to be inside and work in, and then also project inside those spaces. So the primary focus of this studio is for you as students to develop an experimental design practice that can be used to tell stories or tell a narrative to an external audience. You'll need to really embrace this idea of experimentation and risk-taking, and not be afraid to just try something to see if it works, rather than, you know, sitting down at your computer or whatever and starting to design something and expecting this awesome result to automatically kind of pop out after a very short period of time. The idea of this studio and the focus on experimental practice is really just to take sort of risks in creating design and artwork through, you know, just trying something different, trying a different medium, having an idea in your head that you think might work, and then like going on this process to see how it can start from this side and something that you had in your brain, and then over a course it'll zigzag up around and end up over here, something completely different, just through this process of experimentation. We have 3 assessment tasks through the studio that are all kind of linked together. There's a studio knowledge object. We'll do an experimental art show, which will be a public presentation, and then we'll work on this large format projection artwork that will be more substantive, and, you know, depending on what medium and stuff you decide to use as your primary way of working, you know, website, books or whatever, that will be what your final brief and stuff with is. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with you all this semester. Yeah, hopefully we're back on campus as soon as we possibly can, but you know, we're at the behest of the government and the evolving COVID situation. Hopefully everyone is staying safe and staying healthy. Please reach out if you need anything. Yeah, I'm currently sitting in my garage, which is not really well, I don't mind being in my garage, but yeah, it'd be nice to get back on campus and see you all shortly. So yeah, I hope you all have a good rest of the morning or the afternoon or whenever you happen to be watching this, and I'll see you in class this week, and then I will also yeah, hopefully see you in person in the next week or so. Thanks everyone for watching the welcome video, and I'll see you shortly. Bye.